Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kara. Today we are going to do a quick 15-minute DIY. We are going to start by cutting our 4x4 material. So I'm going to be making an owl set here. So I'm going to do about 6 inches, 5 inches, and 4 inches. So go ahead and repeat that 3 times. After we're done, we're going to go ahead and paint. On this blue set, I'm using spray paint. On the other two that I did, I actually just hand painted them with some bare sample paint. So go ahead and use whatever paint you would like. And of course, after your paint is dry, we're gonna go ahead and go back into the workshop and do our next step. The next step after our paint is dry is to go ahead and drill those eyes. So I'm using a Forstner bit here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mark where I wanted it to. I did about 1.25 inches in from the top and the side to go ahead and mark my spots. Once you get these drilled on one, of course, go ahead and repeat for your other or however many you're making. And I really didn't have a standard depth. I just kind of took a little bit at a time until I liked how deep it was, and then tried to match that depth on both sides. Of course, you could go all the way in. You could put tape on your bits so you knew how far you were going if you're using a router. You can, of course, set that depth, and then you'll be sure that you're only going however deep that is, and it's nice and even. Now that I have my eyes drilled, I'm just gonna go ahead and mark the very center black so they actually look like eyes. The nice thing about the Forstner bit is that it has a little indent there for you already, so it works perfectly for this. Next up is to actually distress this however much you want. If you don't want to distress it at all, don't. I like that look. It makes it look a little bit more rustic. So I just went ahead with some sandpaper and kind of sanded down some of the paint, let the wood grain show through in a couple spots, made it look just a little bit more distressed. And then for the most time-consuming part of this project really is sanding down above the eyes and that forehead, if you will, of the owl itself. I'm going to go ahead and use my palm sander here to do this part and actually shape the head of the owl how I want it. So I really just started on that corner above the eyes and kept on going until it got to where I liked it and the look I wanted. After I finished this one, of course, I went ahead and did the other two as well. And then the last step that we have before these are ready to go on display is to just clear coat them. So I actually use shellac to do that. You could use a polyurethane. Mine was a spray. You could use something that you painted on, whatever you like. I personally really like the shellac spray. I use it on almost all of my smaller projects like this, but it just really helps bring out the natural look of the wood and the paint, and then just helps protect it and give it that extra coat. As I mentioned, I actually made 3 sets of these owls. So here's the blue one, of course. The next one, I added some wood-burned wings to them. So the red one has the wings on them, and then the green is my favorite. I absolutely love this look.